Linda Tripp died at 70 years old yesterday on Tuesday, April 8th, 2020. Now, normally, it kind of goes against a lot of popular belief, especially amongst us, minorities, because I am a minority, that, snitching is bad. But I got to be honest with you, man, at the highest level, when you're talking about a president of the United States being impeached for obstruction of justice and perjury, I believe that's how you say it. You look at that, this Linda Tripp lady, she claims that she lost everything. And you know what? She might have lost even some credibility. Some people, not credibility, but maybe people are hating on her because she had direct conversations with Miss Lewinsky that contradicted everything that President Clinton had said at the time. And I'm all for that. I'm all for the truth. And if Clinton lied, he lied. And that should be exposed. And if any president lied, they should be exposed. I like Trump. If he lies, he should be exposed. I don't care what president you are. It doesn't matter. I don't care what and who you are. It does not matter. Does it suck for the person that lied? Sure. Does it suck for the family? Of course. Hillary probably was hurt and she was embarrassed, I'm sure. As a lot of people are who decide to stay in relationships when someone cheats on them. And the Clintons are still married as far as I know, that I'm aware of. But, there's something to be said, though, about someone taking that step to basically try to condemn one of the most powerful figures on the planet, that being the President of the United States. Maybe not condemn, but show light to what actually happened. Transparency. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I like. It's not necessarily out of hate. It's not necessarily out of love. It's out of one simple thing, and that's called truth. Truth. You need truth. You need honesty. You need honest politicians, and they're not honest. There's a lot of lobbyists going around making back deals with these presidents and other politicians. We can't have that anymore. It clearly doesn't sit well with us. None of us like it. And why are these small few elected people getting elected in the first place? Why are we doing the same, repeating the bad history over and over and over again? They're not implementing the kind of change we need anyways. And the kind of change we need, I'm not even 100% sure, but all I know is it seems as if people are more scared than ever. Even though I've heard and I've seen monetarily things are better than ever. But then I lead that's question too. Like, for example, how are a lot of these airlines going under if you were producing so much wealth? And not the ones that were just because their stock was up, but the ones where their balance sheets were good, where they paid back their debt very well. There's a lot of these airlines, a lot of these companies that were going under within a month. How is this possible? So now not only can the American people not afford on average a $500 emergency, but the companies that are supposed to be able to afford their own emergencies can't do that either. Now they're getting bailouts. I've seen the argument on both sides. Both sides need bailouts. And I know I digress from the original portion of this conversation. But Linda Tripp, I regard her as a courageous person, a courageous woman who stuck up for Miss Lewinsky, whatever the case may be, whether Lewinsky was coerced, whether she was something bad happened to her, whether it was entirely consensual, whatever the case may be, she tried to stand up in the face of many people and go, no, he's lying about this. He's a liar. And we forget that. And we love this guy so much, but we forget how easy it was for him just to lie. It's one thing to showboat. It's another thing to just blatantly lie. And he's lying. If you want to be with a ton of women, ain't nothing wrong with that. If you want to be with a ton of men, nothing's wrong with that. And I'm coming from just want to say humanitarian standpoint, but I'm taking my morality and ethical compass out of this. What I'm talking about is just human nature and what we're inclined instinctually to do. procreate with one another and do other oddities, you know, or natural oddities, I should say. But he wasn't honest. Linda, and this is just a personal belief, I feel in my heart of hearts, she was on to something. I'm not saying she's 100% correct. I'm not saying the Lewinsky's testimony is 100% either. But there's a lot of sketchy stuff that has went on with the Clintons. And there's a lot of hearsay, and there's a lot of people that have went on record and said, trying to expose the Clintons. Especially that one thing with the Epstein thing. You took all these 27 trips with this guy, but you don't know him. If you took 24 to 27 trips with this guy on an airplane on what was called the Lolita Express, and you're unaware as to what this guy does in the dark. I know people can hide secrets for years. I get it. But we looked at you, President Clinton, in high regard because you're supposed to be highly intelligent. You're supposed to be one of the smartest people, one of the most highly intelligent people, a detective of sorts, and a person of many hats. And you couldn't infer that this guy was doing this. Just shows me how incompetent you are. And I happen to believe people of the same feather will flock together, as the old saying goes. And that's, I don't trust Hillary. I don't want to say guilty by association, but I think some light should be set on that as well. There might be something there. There might be something there. But this Linda Tripp lady, I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. Thank you for your services. And, may God watch over your soul and, rest in peace. And guys, like, comment, subscribe. Just, throw a couple likes in there. Throw a couple likes my way. And let me know if I'm doing a good job. That's how I know if I'm doing a good job talking to you guys about this. And if you like my opinion or not. Because this is just opinions. Some of it's factual and some of it's opinions. A bit of a mix of both. But it's my perspective. And if you disagree, I'd love to hear from you. And comment below. We can have a discussion about it. I'm not mean or anything. I'm not, nasty. I'll talk to you about anything. But comment, like, subscribe. Thank you guys. I'm out.